Hey, sorry, my video cut off. My computer can get a little crazy sometimes, so, uh, I'll continue on to, the quote I was talking about. This is John Lester, and, it cut off in the middle of my quote, so I'll just redo it, but he's explaining why, like, why the formation of the Ku Klux Klan started, in his opinion. But this is what he says. He says, "There may be, in their conduct, some things to regret and some to condemn. But he who gets a full understanding of their surroundings, social, civil, and political, if he is not incapable of noble sentiment, will also find many things to awaken his sympathy and call forth his admiration." So, this is pretty good because this shows, like, how, I guess, hate groups really start. Like, they could just start in the blink of an eye. Like, um, so that's pretty significant, like, coming from him after he knows all this. I'm not condemning him at all. I'm just saying that, maybe he realized, like, yeah, he had a bunch of hate towards the blacks because of all the stuff that was going on in his life at the time, and along with many other white Southerners, that they picked the blame on other people, and it wasn't just the blacks that they went against. It was anyone who basically wasn't a white supremacist. So, that's, like, I guess that's kind of like people always think it's just the blacks, but it's not. And I think I said earlier, like, my great grandfather almost got killed by one. So, I mean, or not just by one, by a few. So, but I mean, the whole book just, it's great. If you if you want the full story, honestly, read it, because once the KKK started, like, it right away begins with the way they would ride around town is they would act, as if they were spirits walking into houses with guns. um, well, silly, I know, but, like, the blacks ended up, they just went along with it because if they didn't, they were going to get shot, beat, lynched, something. And, so they just played along like, oh, it's a spirit. So, yeah, I think this book, honestly, like, it's so, like, the text is very easy to read. But I think the age group, honestly, would be about 7th grade to maybe freshman year of high school. It might be a little younger. Like, I don't know exactly where I was taught about wars or all this stuff. So, I think 7th grade, like, reading level could be a little lower than that. But, as I said, I think maybe you can use this in, like, an English classroom, maybe as, like, a assisting some other book, or, like, even to coincide with, like, a history teacher. And, if they're learning about the Civil War, be like, okay, well, I'm going to teach this in my class, and they'll get a brief introduction because they talk so in depth about all this history. So, a theme I get out of this, I guess, would have to be human behavior, because it is amazing. Like, as I said, when somebody loses everything, like, they just do the unspeakable. I mean, there's so many examples of it that I could keep going on and on, but, I think human behavior is just, I think maybe they felt like somehow they needed a way to survive because they thought that next their race is just gonna be down at the bottom rail, like where the African Americans were at the time, or colored people. I don't know what the politically right term I should be saying on here is, but maybe they were scared. There's so many themes you can get out of this because this was just a horrible time, and but this book's great. There's so many stories, newspapers, anything. It's great. So, well, that's my book. So if you have any questions, I guess just write me. I don't know. Alright, well, this is just about the book. I'm not condemning anything about the KKK or anything, just talking about it. So, that's the book. And they call themselves the KKK by Susan Campbell Bartoletti. Alright, see ya.